I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Wiping all these tears from my eyes. No more tears. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more crime. No more crime. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more dime. No more dime. I'm just trying to get in, let me walk through the gate. Drill with the pearls, ain't none of them fake. Float through the clouds like your boy on stage. What I wouldn't do just to see the Lord's face. Don't wanna hear the late, wanna hear the roll call. And trying to lose my grace so I keep the whole law. Forget what you heard, I'm about to do me. Trying to get the crown as a king at a breeze. Holla at my peeps in the faith, keep hoping. The world full of sin, every day we coping. Close to the end, using word as my witness. New world coming, ain't gotta worry about sickness. Stick to the truth, got no time for the fake. Lies hit the fire and they all gon' be baking. Make it to the end, want the first resurrection. The side on the right, yeah, the VIP sex. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Wiping all these tears from my eyes. No more tears. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more crime. No more crime. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more dime. No more dime. You know what it is when I jump on the beat. Laced with the truth every time that I speak. Pull up, grab a chair, need to listen while I teach. Watch it where I sin like it's sand on the beach. Preach to the people, rich and the poor. East to the west, ceiling to the floor. Want the world to know about the end with a bang. Long time coming, whole lot about the change. Rules to the game, gotta press for the prize. Fight to the end, bobbing weed through the line. Satan in the skies, the motive on the sinister. Question everything, start off with the minister. Watch him there, minister can lead to the grave. Gird up your loins, cause the Lord on his way. For mercy, I'ma pray that I'm worthy in his eyes. Keep my garment clean, I wanna meet him in the sky. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Wiping all these tears from my eyes. No more tears. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more crime. No more crime. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. I get a glorified body, I'ma fly. Yes I am. I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly, I'ma fly. Ain't gotta worry about no more dime. No more dime.
When I call your name out from the valley, you come, you come. And when I call your name out from the hills, you come, you come. I wanna be where you are, 'cause you are where I am. I wanna be where you are, 'cause you are where I am, yeah. Oh, when I call your name out from the valley, yeah.
You come, you come.
And when I call your name out from the hills, Yahweh, my yeah. Said I wanna be. Oh, oh,
you are where I am.
You are where I am. Yeah.
I wanna be where you are. You are where I am.
Said those who dwell.
Those who dwell in the secret place.
Say those who dwell.
Those who dwell in the secret place. Those who dwell in the secret place
shall abide,
under the shadow
yeah.
of the Almighty.
Said I will dwell in the secret place. I will dwell in the secret place. I will dwell in the secret place. I will abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Say we will dwell.
We will dwell in the secret place.
We will
We
dwell.
will dwell in the secret place. We will dwell in the secret
We will dwell
place.
in the secret place. In the secret place.
Almighty.
Hey,
We will dwell in the secret place.
we will dwell.
We will dwell in the secret place.
Said we will dwell.
We will dwell in the secret
We will abide
place.
under the shadow. Hey,
The Almighty. We will dwell in the secret place.
you shall cover me with your feathers, and your wings will I trust in you. We will dwell. For you are with us. Your rod and your staff, they comfort us. We will dwell. You're my shield. You're my buckler. I will not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrows by day. A thousand shall fall at my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but you shall not come nigh unto me. 'Cause I'll dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Yeah. 'Cause I wanna be where, 'cause you are where I am. Yeah, yeah.
This song is dedicated to special, unique people like me. Outcast, but you're never cast out. Imagine me Loving what I see when the mirror looks at me, 'cause I imagine me in a place with no insecurities, and I'm finally happy 'cause I imagine me letting go of all of the ones who hurt me, 'cause they never did deserve me. Can you imagine me saying no to thoughts that try to control me, remembering all you told me? Lord, can you imagine me over what my mama said and heal from what my daddy did? And I wanna live and not read that page again. Oh, imagine me being free, trusting you totally. I can't. I will admit it was hard to see you being in love with someone like me. Yeah, finally I can imagine me being strong and not letting people break me down. You won't get the joy this time around. Imagine me in a world where nobody has to live afraid because of your love fears gone away. Can you imagine me letting go of my past? And I'm glad I have another chance, and my heart will dance 'cause I don't have to read the page again. Ooh. Oh, I can see myself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I used to beat myself up all the time. Always been strange, so I thought I never shine. Fighting to be accepted, always was rejected, but the Lord held me in His hand, kept me in His plan. I thought I would go astray, but He kept me by His grace. It's only by His grace that I'm standing here today. I can smile at you and say that I'm free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, can you imagine me? Yeah. Oh, so long. Look at your problems and tell them bye-bye. My fear, my insecurity, you have no place here. It's all gone, all gone. Bye-bye, bye-bye. You have no place here. Bye-bye. Can you imagine me? Can you imagine me?
get started, we're going to ask the brothers to uncover your heads. Sisters, please cover your heads. We're going to stand and face Jerusalem and open up with a prayer. Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done on earth
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory forever.
and the glory forever.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. We're going to go ahead and open up the floor for questions. Who's got the first question? Anybody have a question?
So, hello?
Should be 6.
So, regarding the scriptural verses on how to identify who the true children of Israel are, according to the Bible, I've got, in dialogue with some friends, I've got Deuteronomy 28 to identify by the curses, and also some other precepts that involve who's going to gather them back together. But if we could maybe put the precepts together, kind of organize them a bit, and give me a bit more of a clear script to go by as I'm, still learning and still trying to get all that down. It's still new to me, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, good question. All right, so how do we, go ahead.
I think it's time we do a class again on that, because we have the class. I think because we haven't done that in a very, very long time. A class on who are we? I think that's what it's called.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I just told him.
Yeah.
I just told him. So this morning it was between the dietary law and Israel, God's chosen people. That was the decision that was made this morning.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be. I was going to do this one this week and that next week.
Okay.
So that's coming next
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Because like
Lord
I said,
willing.
I've been thinking the same thing too. We haven't, over 2 years or maybe more. We haven't done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So Lord willing, let's Spirit say otherwise. We know what's going to happen next week. All right. So let's go to, because before we get into, we got to set the stage on how do you understand who the children of Israel are today. And the way we set that stage is by understanding how the Bible tells you get that information. So the Bible is not referring us to DNA evidence, things like that. Let's just put that on the table. And the reason I'm saying that is, I see a lot of people talking about, well, don't you have DNA? Or, shouldn't you go and get a DNA test to see? And I actually looked at, because my issue with that is, okay, you get a DNA test, who are you weighing the test against? That's what the issue is going to be. Like, if you are getting a DNA test, that has to be compared to someone else's DNA, and who are you basing who you're judging that against, right? That's still putting the power in somebody else's hand, because they're determining who the people are and who you judging your DNA against. So that's faulty. We got to go with how the Bible, how God says you will understand who these people are. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, and you can start at verse 1 while I look up these other resources.
Sure. So Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. Yeah. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Let's make sure the Q&A mic is muted, just because I know, we split in the room, but we just don't need all that chatter amplified. So that would be channel 6. Yeah. Go ahead. And can you turn up the master volume so we can be a little, the master volume. Yeah. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Yeah. All right,
Test.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon
Okay,
thee.
hold on. You got to 15 already?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Verse 8. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And the Lord shall make thee the head, and not the tail. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, so now, this is the key here. God is making an agreement with the children of Israel, and there are 2 sides to every agreement. The side when you fulfill the agreement, and the side when you break the agreement. So the first few verses he read was all about if the agreement was fulfilled. From verse 15 on is what happens if the agreement is broken. Read verse 15 again.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, so first of all, the first step 1 in understanding who the children of Israel are is accepting that God will curse a people. That's step 1. Most people don't understand that, don't agree with that, don't accept that fact, that God will curse a nation. And that's proven through Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I shall command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So you will no longer be without, you will be overtaken by these curses, right? What does it mean to be overtaken? It means now this is what you are. This is what you are now. These curses have taken over your nation, right? Now, hold your finger here and go to Daniel chapter 9. Because again, like I said, the first step in understanding who the children of Israel are is accepting and understanding that God will in fact curse a nation. Can somebody hand me that water bottle right there in the back? It's the colorful one right there. Daniel 9 and verse 5. We can start at verse 5. Daniel 9 and 5. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
We have sinned and have committed iniquity, and have done wickedly, and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee.
Skip down to verse 10 and go ahead. We'll cut to the chase.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets.
Okay, so now this is Daniel talking. Now, did Daniel disobey God? Did Daniel disobey God? No. So who is the we that he's talking about? He's talking about his nation. So what we see in here is Daniel making a confession, taking responsibility as a nation. Because again, the Lord cursed Israel as a nation. And this is illustrated through what Daniel's saying, because Daniel was a servant of God. He didn't break God's laws, but he was a part of a nation that did. Why is this important? Because many people, when you start talking about the curses in black people, they start saying, oh, well, what about Michael Jordan? He doesn't look too cursed. What about Oprah Winfrey? She don't look too cursed, right? Again, this is a national, right? We're not talking about no individuals, because Daniel's a perfect example. Daniel was a very prosperous man, right? He actually had a great job, a high position in the country he was captive in. But notice he was still a captive, right? Daniel was still in Babylon. Just like Michael Jordan, with all the money he has, if you say to Michael Jordan right now, take all that money and go to your native land, he would be lost. He wouldn't even know where to put the money to go. If you said right now, Oprah Winfrey, why don't you go to your native land and grab a handful of your people from your native land and bring them back here, she would be trying to go to Ancestry.com and even try to figure out where she'd be looking at Africa. She'd be clueless, is the point. And that shows you what happens when someone is a part of a nation who has lost their identity. And that is indicative of what we're going to read in these curses. Because that's not normal for most people. Right? Let's just put that out there. That's not normal for most people. And many black people try to make up for it by staying focused on America. Because I'm American. And since I've been out of America, I've seen people say, okay, well, where are you from? Well, I'm from Jamaica. Or I'm from Barbados. Or I'm from... No, you're not. That's where you got dropped off. I got dropped off over here. You got dropped off over there. We don't run Jamaica. We don't run Barbados. We don't run in Trinidad, Tobago. Pick your island. The point is, we do not run that. See, for you to be in your native land, generally you know where your land is, and generally, right, you got some sort of control over it. Right? So Daniel is saying this from a national perspective, because he himself is actually doing pretty well on a personal level as a captive. But as a nation, Daniel can't go back to Jerusalem, which is where he would like to be. Right? A lot of times, Gentiles, when you talk to them about this, they be like, well, you're doing fine over here. You don't look too uncomfortable to me. And the point is, what if I don't want to be here? What if I want to go home? What if I don't want to be in this situation? See, it's one thing to choose to go somewhere and do something. That's one thing. That's very different from being captive in a situation and never going home. These are two different things. And just because our people have lost touch with that doesn't mean that that fact don't still exist. So Daniel said, neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his ways, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Verse 11.
Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law,
See, he's talking nationally. Keep going.
even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice.
Uh-huh.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
Read
Upon
that
us.
again.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
So again, step one, in understanding who Israel is accepting and understanding and accepting the fact that God will curse a nation. Daniel is testifying that God has cursed Israel. So that's the first thing. When you're looking for the children of Israel, you are looking for a cursed people. Keep going.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
And what oath is that? That's the one we read in Deuteronomy 28. So now that Daniel has proved biblically that God cursed Israel, right? So you can see why that would be the first step, right? Do you understand that Israel is cursed by God? Once you prove that, the second, well, this is part of the first step, but step 1B would be, how long will that curse last? Right? Is that curse going to last till go back to Deuteronomy 28. God cursed the children of Israel until 1948. Is that what the Bible says? Let's see how long that curse will be. Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Read that again.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So the curses are going to destroy you as a nation. Keep going.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
How long?
Forever.
Okay, so we have the length of time that this curse is going to be on the children of Israel. Not till 1948. Not till, some rich families want to bring you back into the land and say you all good now. Forever. According to the Bible. We just reading Bible facts, right? So now that we know the curse is going to be on the children of Israel forever, this lends itself to proving who the children of Israel are in 2026. They would still be cursed, according to this, right? Okay. So now, back up and read 46 one more time, because there's some more information in this one verse. 46, go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
Notice that the curses, that's the they in the sentence, shall be upon thee, the children of Israel, for a sign. What's a sign? A sign is something that tells you what something is, right? We've had people come in for the first time. When they drive up, they're looking for what? The address and the name of the place to tell them if they are in the right place. That's what a sign does. So according to the Bible, not according to man's philosophy, according to the Bible, how do you know who the children of Israel are? The way you know is to look for the sign. And what is the sign? The curses. According to verse 46, read that again.
And they shall be upon thee.
Emphasize the they.
And they shall be upon thee.
They being what? The
curses.
curses. That's the subject of that sentence from a reading comprehension standpoint. And they, being the curses, shall be upon thee, Israel, for a sign. This is biblically how you know who the children of Israel are. Keep going.
For a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And that is biblically how you know how long that sign will be on the children of Israel. So now that we know the curses happened, and we know the curses are on the children of Israel in 2026 because they are on them forever, and we know that that is how God expects us to know who the children of Israel are. When you look at the curses, that's going to be your identifier. And what the curses is nothing other than a social, economic condition description. That is what the curses are. Right? So now, let's establish some major, because so this would be step 2. Step 2 is, what are some of the major anchors of the curses? Because a lot of times when you read the curses, people say, oh, well, so-and-so went through that. And you read another curse. Oh, so-and-so went through that. And then you read another curse. Oh, yeah, well, the people over there, they're going through that right now. This is not when you're talking about the curse, you're talking about somebody that fits the sum total of them all. You're talking about a nation, name a nation that fits them all, right? So whatever curse you're reading, it must be coupled with the rest of them for the nation to fit that. It can't just be one, oh, these people went through that, so maybe they the ones. That's not how it goes. That's why you got a whole book full of these curses. And that's why he said they are going to be on them for a sign. So let's look at some of the big ones. Starting with 25. Back up to verse 25. Verse 25. Go ahead when you get there.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Okay, so now we came here for that latter part of the verse. The children of Israel shall be removed. Removed from where? From their own land. So number one, whoever the children of Israel are, they are not in their own land. Right? So that's going to be a big anchor. They're not in their own land. They shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. So not only are they not in their own land, it's not like they were removed from their own land and put in some other land and now all of them are in another land. Because that's generally what happens to people that are displaced from their land. You know, they take them and they put them in another land. But the people are still together. Nope, this is twofold. Not only are you not in your land, you are peppered throughout everywhere on the earth. So wherever you go, you're going to find some of the children of Israel in that place. And notice, and this is a phenomenon that we generally may not even recognize, right? But wherever you go, you see a community of black faces or dark people, right? And generally they on the bottom, and generally they mixed in. They not the majority, they the minority. They mixed in with the people, and they trying to find their way, and they're having the same experience all over. We know that happens in Canada. We know it's in America. We know it's in Brazil. We know it's, and even in Africa. We as the children of Israel, we are mostly in Africa. And many people confuse us with the Africans because we look similar. But it's just like Gentiles. Not all Gentiles are the same race, right? The same nation, right? You got Gentiles that are from this land, Gentiles that are from that land, right? And people understand the distinction. So it'll be the same for dark-skinned people, right? Everybody in Africa is not African native, right? And that solves, so many people, and they stop at this question, many people say, well, it's the Africans that sold other Africans into slavery. Well, let's make the proper technical distinction, because clearly there was some sort of delineator. Like, you don't think these Africans were selling their, like, this is my brother and my cousin, let me sell them. You don't think that's what happened, right? This is my mother and my aunt, let me sell them to you. right? Because many people don't even really get into this, but they just stop at black Africans sold each other into slavery. But we know the Israelites were in Africa. They migrated into Africa. You got similar looking people because we have always mixed with Ham. But the Hamites, just like today, the Hamites know who are Ham and who are Israel. And if you don't believe me, go get on a plane and go over there right now and get off the plane and see how they treat you. Right? That's who sold who. The Hamites, the natives to that land, the Africans, sold the Israelites into slavery. That's why you still got Hamites over there. We are not the same people. Right? So, twofold in verse 25. You're not going to have your land, and you're going to be not in one other land. You're going to be scattered all over the world. Right? You're going to be in every land. Right? And I even see TV shows. You see TV shows rewriting history. I don't know if anybody else sees it. I remember when I was younger, they would show movies about the times of Caesar and times of this and times of that. And it was generally white. And the black people were basically slaves. Nowadays, they got these movies. They got brothers walking around like they was just like everybody else. You know, just interacting. I don't remember the movies being like that. But the point is, why are you seeing this pepper of black faces in all these different regions? Right? What is that about is the point. Right? Are there other nations? Ask yourself, are there other nations that are represented everywhere else in the world like we are? No, that's a phenomenon. So you shall be removed from all the kingdoms of the earth, right? You shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Hold your finger here and go to Deuteronomy 32. So to summarize, step 2, Israel will not be in their land. And Israel will be scattered among all other nations. So whoever the people are, right? Because I remember when you start talking about slavery and captivity, people talk about things. I had somebody say to me, well, that's what the Palestinians are like that. Okay, so are the Palestinians removed from Palestine? And are the Palestinians basically, is it known throughout the world that wherever you go, you're going to see some Palestinians? True or false? That's interactive. Everywhere you go in the world, you're going to see some Palestinians somewhere as a group, and they also are removed from their land? No, not at all. So that's an example of how it's got to fit all the curses. This is why we give it the anchors. They can't be in their own land, and they represented and scattered all over the world. Yeah.
To claims that a lot of nations make, because I know even the Irish, sometimes at one time they used to say, oh, they went through that. But it's a few of slavery, but not as us.
They still got Ireland.
Right, and every country you're in, you might see a lot of different nations, but guess there is one delineating fact. They migrate.
Correct.
Right? We didn't.
We're about to get to that. We're about to get to that because step 3 or 4, whatever step we're on is the mode in which they got there, which is verse 68. So Deuteronomy 32 and verse 26. 32 and verse 26. 32 and 26. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
I said, I would scatter them into corners.
Okay, so the Lord, when he say you will be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, he meant what he said. He meant what he said. You're going to be in all the different kingdoms of the earth. He said, I would scatter them into corners. I remember watching I was watching a documentary of some brothers in Germany. They were speaking German, and I think the documentary was like, they didn't show the brothers first. You just heard them. You saw pictures of like the ghetto, like they were showing like the buildings and stuff, and you heard the German voices, but you didn't know it was Negroes until they put the camera on. When they put the camera on them after they speak, they sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They put the camera on them, they look like Tupac. They got the hats, the pants sagging, white tees. In Germany, you know, have Gentiles chasing them, all kinds of stuff. All that happening, all in Germany. They same situation, they just speak in German. This is what he said, I will scatter them into corners. So you got to find another nation that's going through this, that is all over the world, right? And look at the second part of this. Go ahead.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men.
Now see, that's going to be key too. That's very key. What do you mean I'm going to make the remembrance of them to cease from among men? When you ask anybody, what is our ethnic designation? We are the only nation, unless somebody else can bring up one. And make this step forward. We the only nation without an ethnic designation. Because the ethnic designation is tied to a landmass. Even here in the Americas, you got the natives, right? The natives they're native to America. This is actually the land that they were at. But notice, has the remembrance of them ceased? Have they been scattered off their land? Have they, you understand what I'm saying? Are they represented in all the other kingdoms of the earth? See, they got to fit everything. So I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. You will not be even remembered as a nation. People don't even remember or consider you a nation. Right? Now let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and go to verse 64. Step 4, which is what this brother was talking about. The mode of transportation with which you got into captivity. And this is one of the big signs here, because this is what resonates with most black people in an obvious fashion, because we know what, and here's the irony about this verse. Do we control our history here, or is somebody else controlling the narrative of black history? Black people are not controlling the narrative of black history, right? And all of us have been in school when they would teach black history, right? And when they teach black history, where do they start? Start with slavery. So it's almost like we didn't even exist until the 1500s. It's almost like we didn't exist as a nation until the 1500s, when we popped up on the scene as slaves, right? So whoever's controlling our narrative literally starts it with slavery. We don't have no control over that. That wasn't our decision. Deuteronomy 28 and 68, go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Okay, so here's the next step. Whoever the children of Israel are, they were sold unto their enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. No one is going to rescue them. So that's part 2 of this. Part 1 is you sold unto your enemies. Part 2 is you will never be rescued out of this situation. And part 3 is you went into that situation via ships. Now that's literally how we all got here, to the Americas, to Canada, to Jamaica, to the Bahamas, Trinidad, Tobago, Cuba, Brazil. That's literally how we got there. That is literally the narrative that has been created for our history. Literally. Who remembers when they would do black history and the way they would do it? They would do it in one fell swoop by playing what movie? Roots. If you haven't seen Roots, go watch Roots. That's where Kunta Kinte is. Big scene in Roots is when they changed Kunta Kinte's name to Toby, which is what they did to Daniel Mishael. This is what is called the black experience. Basically, and we don't expect other nations to be intimately acquainted with what the black experience is. But this is why you see so many black people understanding that we the children of Israel, because obviously we're acquainted with it, we live it every day. Right? I know what it felt like to be in school as a kid and to question why my Gentile history teacher is starting Black History Month as slavery. I know the frustration that feels like. Like that's odd. So you saying I don't have a history before slavery? You going to BC AD on your own history? What does that say to me as a young kid? You telling me I don't start to the 1400s, or what was I before that? Right? Until this. This is a major sign. So the anchors, you're not going to be in your land. You're going to be scattered into all other nations. You're going to be sold unto your enemies. You're not going to be rescued out of that situation. So that already trumps a lot of these arguments where you say, oh, well, they went into slavery. Oh, well, somebody else went through that. But guess what? Are they still over there? Right? The Irish, the Chinese, right? Tons of nations went in slavery. Are they still in that situation? No. So that's the no man will buy you. The children of Israel are still in that situation. And the big sign that resonates with many people, which is the narrative of our history, what they call Black history. You're going to go into that situation via ships. So right there alone, you're not in your land, you in everybody else's land, not just a few people. You represented everywhere in other lands. You were sold into slavery in them lands, and you got there via ships. Right there alone. You can stop there and be like, just name me one other nation that fits those four. Just one. You got to fit all four. You're going to be a couple days with them trying to answer that question. Right? Now, skip back to verse 43. So step 5. Step 5. So this is where a person is going to have to start having some understanding on the Black community. And if they don't, then they need to name another community or another nation of people that they do know that is experiencing this. Verse 43. Deuteronomy 28:43. Go ahead.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Okay, so now, another sign of who the children of Israel are, wherever they are in these nations, right? Because they're not in their land, they're scattered in all nations. Wherever they are in these nations, the person who is not one of them is going to be in their community, in their neighborhood, and be higher. And they will be in their own community and in their own neighborhood and be down low. Read verse 43 again.
The stranger that is within thee shall...
That's the person that's not part of your nation, that's not an Israelite, but he is within the Israelite community. The stranger that is within thee, keep going,
shall get up above thee very high,
shall get up above thee very high. Keep going.
and thou shalt come down very low.
And thou shalt come down very low. Now, we got a bunch of Black people in this room. How many people have been in a Black community or are in a Black community? Inside your community, do the people in your community, in your nation, do they own everything in that community?
Nope. Nope.
Do Black people own everything in the community, the Black community? No. Okay. Who owns everything in the Black communities?
Stranger.
The stranger, the foreigners. So again, now Gentiles had to translate this into English and deliver it to us because we ain't got no printed presses, nothing like that. And this ain't our language. But yet they left this in here. Right? And this is a show enough sign. So now, somebody name to me another nation, right, that has communities in multiple nations, inside of other nations. They got little communities in there, and in those communities, they don't own anything. That's all you got to do. And it's always crickets because, see, these are peculiar situations to be in. Most people can't fathom this situation. When you go to Little Italy, or you go to Koreatown, or you pick your ethnicity. When you go to those places, is that what they say? Oh, well, so and so owns all our stuff. We don't really own it. Is that the talk of the town?
Nope.
Not at all. It's even been movies made about this, right? Anybody ever seen Do the Right Thing? Anybody ever seen it? You ever seen that? Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee. You need to watch it. Anybody seen it? Yeah. You need to go watch Do the Right Thing. The whole movie was about an Italian guy opened an Italian restaurant in a black neighborhood, and the brothers got mad because he had Italians on the wall, and they wanted him to put some brothers on the wall in their neighborhood. And you know what he told them? He said, "This is my store. I put who I want on the wall. You want to control who's on the wall? Go get your own store." That's what he said in the movie. Go watch it. Now again, this is just chronicling the black experience, but it's exactly what's being read in verse 43. Read that again.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Mm-hmm.
He shall lend.
Anybody ever been to a store? I don't know if they do this in Canada because there's no firearms, but in America, right where I used to go to class in LA, right off of Martin Luther King Boulevard, which is that run through every black neighborhood in the Western Hemisphere. Right off Martin Luther King Boulevard, where we used to go to class in LA, Israel Church of Jesus, Los Angeles, there's a corner store on the corner. Guess who owned it? Not black people, right? There's some Asian people, I think it was, if I remember correctly. Now, they were a little more politically correct. You go in there, it was Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, on the wall. They was a little smarter when you go in the store. But it was also, the Asian people was standing there at the teller thing, and it was a huge sheet of bulletproof glass, like a bank, from the ceiling to the counter. And this is normal in America, in the hood. A huge thing of bulletproof glass. You got to put your product up on the thing, and then they scan it. You got to put your money in the thing, and they spin it around and grab it. And they put your change in the thing, and they spin it. You know why they do it? Because they do not trust you. You are in a cage in your own. They got bulletproof glass at the stores where you live? Okay, all right. So that's the point. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low, to the point where you go to your corner store. You could lose your life going in a corner store in your neighborhood, and them people would not be found guilty. And even that's in the Bible. Matter of fact, let's go look at that. You know where it is. Zechariah 11. Hold your finger here. We come back to Deuteronomy. Zechariah 11. See, this is why you see so many brothers talking about we the true Hebrews. Because the Lord put it, it's undeniable. Once you start going into these curses, all people can do is be quiet. They're not going to tell you another nation that's going through all of this. That's never going to happen. That's why you got to build the case of multiple curses for them to start picking away at. It can't just be one or two. It don't work like that. Zechariah 11 and verse 4. Zechariah 11 and verse 4. Okay, when you get there, go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
Uh-huh. What does that mean, feed the flock of the slaughter? The Lord has put the target on our back. And he said, go ahead, have at it. Have at it with these people. That's why when you see these videos of people getting gunned down, that's why they always look like us. Verse 5, go ahead.
Whose possessors slay them.
Whose possessors slay them. That means the ones who own you will kill you. Keep going.
and hold themselves not guilty,
Read that again.
whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with this? We're gonna act like this don't fit us? We're gonna act like this don't resonate with us? You don't want it to resonate, stop doing it. See, but it ain't gonna stop happening because this is from the Lord. See, people want to blame the white man. It's the white man's hand that's doing it, but the Lord is the one that's doing it. The Lord is the one that gave us over to this for our disobedience. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's even a peculiar thing to say. That's even a peculiar thing to say, because if you're talking within a nation, you wouldn't even be talking about possessors slaying you and they not holding themselves not guilty. You would just be talking about justice. This is talking from other nations to this particular nation. They possess you and kill you, and then they say, oh, we're not guilty of anything. We fine. I think the latest case was some dude named Rick Child. Anybody heard of that? Look it up. Shot the man in the back as he was running from the store for stealing a bottle of water or something like that. He didn't steal the water, but he's dead. And my man, did he get found guilty? Walk free. I mean, we can't make this up. I mean, what you want us to do? Don't get mad at us because we talking about it. You gonna get mad because we bring it up? Oh, and don't say nothing either. No, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna say something. That ain't gonna happen. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Oh, read the rest. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Verse 5. Go ahead.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. The ones that oppress you, that kill you, and then they hold themselves not guilty. And those that sell you say, man, bless the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So the ones who are supposed to be the pastors and the safeguards of the community ain't doing nothing to protect. Don't even care this is happening to us. Tell me who this is. I'm really interested to get another name. Tell me, maybe I'll feel better that somebody else going through this. Back to Deuteronomy 28. Which leads us to verse 64. And because of this situation, again, now we're in territory where you kind of got to be acquainted with the black experience to make these connections. But you are aware of it because even if you're on the outside, you're looking at the black community like, why can't they ever? Matter of fact, that's one of the biggest testimonies in the world. When you see these Gentiles, a lot of them racist, they be debating, and they start talking about the black community, what do they say? How come y'all always in the same situation? Every other nation has been able to get out the situation. You guys haven't been able to get out of it. And you keep letting this happen, that happen. And the divorce rate, there's no fathers in the home. And this and that. All that's in these curses. All you doing is rattling off the curses without knowing. But then you turn around and be like, well, that can't be y'all. Y'all can't be Israel. You can't have it both ways. You can't rattle off the curses and say that's us. And then when we say, well, that's the curses, then it says it's not us. Deuteronomy 28 and 64, go ahead.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Okay, so whoever the children of Israel are, they are serving other gods. So when you put them together, so it's like this. Generally, when you put a nation together, generally that nation has a land, a language, a culture, and a God, right? When you put the children of Israel together, you're going to have some of every God represented in that place, wherever you. First of all, you got to find somebody to let you bring them to, because it ain't going to be their land. They got to borrow some land. Remember when during the Civil Rights era, they were all talking about the South of America. Well, that's going to be our land, Alabama or something like that. Notice this is just a temporary fix in somebody else's land. He said they're going to serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Now watch this, verse 65, go ahead.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Look at that. Wherever you at, you're not going to be comfortable or feel safe. You shall find no ease, neither will the sole of your foot have rest. You're going to always be scared. Keep going.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
Okay, so wherever you at, you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to be scared that your life will be taken in an instant. Right? This always reminds me of that video I saw with Chris Rock and Jerry Seinfeld. You guys ever watch that show Jerry Seinfeld has where he's driving around in a car with a famous comedian? He's driving around with Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a huge comedian. Everybody know him. Multi-millionaire. The cops pulled up behind them. Whoop, whoop. Guess what Chris Rock did? He said, Jerry, you better stop playing. Stop playing. There's cops behind us. What do we do when you get terrified? Because it's a reality that you could lose your life. And that's the walk of life. Stop me when I'm lying. That's the walk of life that is part of the black experience. Not ever feeling safe or secure. Especially when you step outside the house. A lot of times the only time you feel safe is in your house if you got a safe environment to be in, to begin with. So, again, name another nation that is experiencing this. Among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Verse 66.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
Read that again.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
How do you think black people felt when they seen somebody kneel on a person's neck for 8 minutes while they screamed for their mother until they could not breathe again? That's weird for the world to witness. It happens all the time, but for people to see it and understand that that could happen to you at any moment for a traffic stop, this doesn't incite some type of fear in the hearts of the person that looks just like that person, regardless of what they did. I don't care what he did. He looked like me and you kneeled on his neck and nobody did anything and he died. Period. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's what people, any black people here want to tell about how they see this type of stuff happen to people who look like them all the time, but they ain't scared? Anybody feel that way? I don't see no hands going. No hands going up, right? I remember anytime I had to take any type of lengthy trip in the car across the country, you know, going on vacation or whatever, I have had to have that talk with myself and my wife. If this happens, do this. Now you talking about, no, you know, ain't never did nothing wrong. So why am I even having this conversation with myself? You know what? Lord is with me. I can take this drive. Something happened. You go over here. You do this. Call these people. Whatever. You got to have a contingency plan just to drive somewhere to go to Disney World or something like that. That's the black experience. And if you know somebody black, you know a black man, ask him if he feel that way. I guarantee you he ain't going to say, no, I'm fine. Because we seeing people that look like us die every day for nothing. For absolutely nothing. Right. And we don't control the narrative, so all they gotta do is say he didn't pay his taxes in 2019. Whoa, wow, I understand now why that happened to him. He didn't pay his taxes. I mean, that's the environment. I mean, I'm a grown man, I'm 51. You know, to live with this long, this is ingrained in the culture. How many times you think you can see? I mean, Rodney King was 1992 when they beat that man on the camera and they all and they found themselves not guilty, right? Just like the Bible said, right? So again, show me another nation that's gone through this. Show me another nation that's not in their own land, that's scattered in other lands, that don't own anything in their own communities, that feel like their life is hanging in the balance, whose possessors slay them and find us. Just show me one other. Just one. Let's keep going. 54, go ahead.
54.
54, go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave.
Okay, so the man that is tender among you. So every nation has certain types of people. Every nation got their smart person, their athletic person, their warrior, their philosopher, right? Every nation has their poet, you know, right? Every nation has these type of people. You got men who are, you know, they wouldn't hurt a fly, tender-hearted. But under the curses, he said, the man that is tender among you and very delicate, he wouldn't do anything to anybody. This man under the curses, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. So he's going to be trying to kill his own brother, do his own brother in. Right? In the black experience, at least in the Western world, they coined a phrase for that. What is it called?
Black on black crime.
Black on black crime. Ever heard of Asian on Asian crime?
Nope.
Chinese, Indian on Indian crime. Sikh on Sikh crime? Anybody?
Never.
No? Kenyan on Kenyan crime. Why is this funny? They say black on black crime, right? And that's accepted, right? Why we got a phrase for that? And nobody else. They don't ever, well, the white on white crime is at an all-time high. No, you never hear that. So the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So whoever the children of Israel are, they got an epidemic of fathers not being in the home. Isn't that what the far right accuse us of? Well, see, the problem is not the legislation. It's not racism. It's the families. You know, you guys need more fathers in the home. Oh, really? Did you know that the children of Israel suffered the same thing according to the Bible? Oh, well, that can't be you. Well, which one is it? Either we got an epidemic of fathers leaving the home, we were sold in captivity via ships, we not in our own land, we don't have it's got to be one or the other. One last place, 37. We'll end it with this. Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Okay, so what you're going to be known for, you're not going to be remembered as a nation. You're going to be an astonishment. Meaning when people look at you as a nation, they're going to be scratching their head. That's what astonished means, right? I don't understand. This is amazing. This is unbelievable. These people have been in the same situation since my parents. They were going through this in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They were in the streets protesting about the same stuff. We done seen other communities get rights, and these people still going through this. That's what an astonishment is. You just amazed, can't believe it. And a proverb and a byword. What is a byword? That's a nickname, another name for you. So again, add to the list Name me one other nation that is not known by a proper ethnic designation. What is a proper ethnic designation? French, German, Italian, Indian, Kenyan, Namibian, right? These are proper ethnic designations. Black is not an ethnic designation. That is not a name of a land or a people. Colored, African American, what's the new one? BIPOC, whatever you want to, you come up with a different name every couple years. These are not proper ethnic designations. If you don't know what it feels like to be around people who have proper ethnic designations, correct history, landmass associated with them, and then everyone looks at you and you have none of that. Just name me one other nation in that situation. Just one. Just one. See, the problem is when you name the nation, you're going to by default have to use their ethnic designation to name them, and it's going to disqualify them. Because the children of Israel are known as a proverb and a byword. They're scattered into corners, and the remembrance of them is no more. So we not call Israel. We call black. What is that? Go ahead.
Oh, to think your point, right now, I think a couple of weeks ago or so, in so-called Israel, the land of Israel, a lot of so-called Israelis are leaving Israel and go back to their own land.
Right.
They're going back to America. They're going back to Portugal, France, Germany. Millions of them is moving back, moving out of Israel. Look it up.
Right.
So if there was the people, they have a land, right?
Right.
Right? We don't. Okay, for the people that kept it, they're like, okay, go back to Africa. Africa is a big place. Now, where in Africa are you going back?
It's a continent.
Right? Where are you going back?
Africans ain't saying go back to Africa.
Right?
They got to weigh in on that.
Yeah, and for the people,
they not inviting us over there.
for the people that do not know, Canada is bigger than America by maybe 1%, a lot bigger. Africa, you probably could hold Canada and America and a whole bunch of other countries in it. So all the people that non-scholars that think that Africa is like Ontario, it's not. Don't believe your map.
And find an African and call him black and see how he feels about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He gonna make sure you know he ain't us. He gonna make sure you know he ain't us. So that's the point. So your pillars are, the children of Israel are cursed by God forever according to the scriptures. And that's the sign on how you know who the children of Israel are. That's all biblical. And when you look at the curses, the children of Israel went into captivity via ships. That was the mode of transportation. They are not in their land. They are scattered into all the nations. They have no ethnic designation. They are a byword. They do not own anything in their communities. They sit in fear wherever they are of their life, right? They have an epidemic of fathers in the homes. They're not lending to anybody as a nation. These are all the curses. So again, the major ones is you're not in your land, you don't have an ethnic designation, and you were sold into slavery via ships. You could just anchor everything in addition to those three. You're only going to find one people. Matter of fact, like I said, you can't even name a nation without talking about their ethnic designation, right? Even when we talk about natives, right? Natives are native to America. This is their land, and even here, you can't say somebody else owns all the stuff in their land. You can't say that. We know who's running the world. That's one thing. But on the level, on the social economic level of the community, you can't say somebody else owns everything there. There's only one people that fit all of these curses. So hopefully that helps with that question.
So basically, from me reading that Deuteronomy 28, I can glean everything just from there, enough information I don't need to really hop around and try to go if they're like, oh, well, do you got anything else? Like if they can't see it at that point, like I can see it clearly.
You can,
but
like I said, we're
like,
gonna do the full lesson.
yeah, so
next week.
maybe
We'll-
they'll get more there,
you'll have
but
other scriptures, like
okay.
Zechariah about the find themselves not guilty.
Yeah,
and then
that was great.
There was another one about scattering them into
But
corners and make them remembrance to cease from among men. There's some
Yeah.
stuff in Psalms. There's other stuff, but again, if you're talking about somebody, especially someone who might not be intimately acquainted with
The
black
scriptures.
experience, that's why I gave you the anchors.
Yeah,
They are cursed
yeah.
forever, and the sign of who they are is the curse. So
Got it.
that's number one. Number two, they are not in their land. They are scattered into all other lands. So they're not in their land, but they are mostly just in one place, and you can't really find them nowhere else. It's not like that. They are represented in all nations. They're not in their land. They have no proper ethnic designation, and they were sold into slavery via ships. Those four is literally was taught in schools about our history, period. So if you don't know nothing about black history, you know we were sold into slavery via ships. You know we don't have an ethnic designation because they teach. In this year, they were called colored. In this year, they were called black. In this year, what's appropriate now is African American. You know what I'm saying? That's all taught, or at least it used to be taught. I don't even think. My kids told me this. What they teach now for black history is just minority studies, basically. They don't even focus on black people. It's just anybody that's a minority, anybody that's downtrodden, anybody that's down, that's what they teach for black history. They don't even focus on us no more. That's what they told me. Which is fine, because I'm not waiting on them to teach black history to my kids. Because we should not be doing that. That's our responsibility. How am I waiting on them to do that?
You said something earlier during the lesson. You also said that there was a name. You said the name you were given is not even your name. Did you put that in the category as well? Of what
Well,
you
that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. Because we saw that in Daniel, right?
So you said people, nation, tongue, and
for every nation, you got a land. You have a land, a culture, a language, and a god.
Okay.
Every nation has that.
Okay.
A landmass, a culture, a language, and a god. So we don't have a language.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Name me another nation like this that does not have a native land, a ethnic designation, a native tongue, that was sold into slavery, but was never set right. Like reparations is an absolute thing.
I don't know if another.
Reparations has been paid to nations. Reparations is actively being paid to nations. America's paying reparations to nations they ain't even do nothing to. So that's the thing. It's only when it comes to the black nation that no one knows how will we even calculate this? We don't even know who we're going to get. How would this even be done? Why do you deserve this now? Like you weren't even back there. That wasn't even, I didn't do that to you. I wasn't back there. You weren't back. Why are you living in the past? This is the only time you're talking like this. When it comes to us. When it comes to any other nation, well, we have to recognize and reconcile and do all this and that, right? So again, cool if that's how you want to handle it, but don't get mad when that fits and no man shall buy you. Don't get mad then. Because you can't have it both ways. If you're going to do it like that, you fit in the Bible, just be cool with that. So hopefully that helps a little with that.
Because they have a nation behind it.
Right.
Like, we don't have anybody, and the scripture talks about it, that we would not have nobody to us.
You can't even, what name you going to put on the check? Yeah. You got to, the Lord, that's what he mean by destroy it. Because if for some reason they say, okay, we're gonna cut y'all check, we're gonna give y'all reparations. Who do we make this out to? Or who are we today? Afro, black,
BIPOC. Them people.
What happened was black folk were so-called free, they paid reparations to the former slave owners.
Yeah, to the Gentiles, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
You lost your slave.
Yeah, they sure did.
In England.
They set up programs. They set up programs they set up programs for the Gentiles who had slaves who lost them because they were freed. Absolutely.
England, I think England last payment I think was in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the slave owners that also carriers.
This guy we serve. He said he gonna do a thing to Israel that ain't never been done.
Like they say, won't he do it?
Oh my goodness, won't he do it? Woo, you don't mess with this guy. And this is the curses. Imagine the lake of, like, you don't want to play with this guy. You don't play with this guy.
I think America did the same thing. Yeah, I hope England. Yeah, England just finished theirs in I think 20.
Yeah, right when slavery was ended, they set up those programs. They were supposed to get 40 acres and a mule in America, but instead they set up programs that the Gentiles were able to get assistance, and because they didn't. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yep.
That's the first bailout.
Mm-hmm. And then brothers went straight from slavery to sharecropping. So they didn't lose nothing because they stayed slaves under the term sharecropper. So yes, because when slavery ended, it became sharecropper, meaning like you was just in so much debt, you was basically a slave anyway. The way it would shake out. So they kept it going through that. So it's been going. It's been continuing to go through different frames. But anyway, all right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. We got any other questions? Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Look Bear on online. Got anything else? Any other questions in here?
If I can add one verse
Okay, what you
on
got?
topic. Isaiah 42, verse 22. Isaiah 42 and 22, it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, Restore."
That's another part of the curses. That's another sign. They're hid in prison houses. I don't know the stats anywhere else, but I know in America we are 13% of the population and 50% of the prison system. So you do that math. That doesn't even make sense. All right, we got any other questions? Questions going once. Questions going twice. Okay, we'll go ahead and stand and face Jerusalem. And close out. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.